It is I think it's a tasty trade. Yeah, thank you, sir. I was just about to do it. Okay. So we have it as one of the defaults in here. And what you're doing is you're selling a put, you're selling a call. The deltas, are negotiable. In this case, you're selling a 42 delta put, a 50 delta call, and you're buying a call, a 48 delta call. So basically what that looks like is it's almost kind of like a ratioed butterfly. As you look at that, what would be the risk? Where is your risk at in a Jade Lizard? That's right, unlimited downside. Exactly right. With that being said, I don't know the tasty trade way to do it, but let's figure it out together. What would be a good profit target or stop loss for this type of trade? You can't really do the shorts because your shorts are so close that you don't necessarily want to exit if they're tested. So what would be a good way to ensure we don't let it blow through the short call? Yeah. Maybe if the put's tested, we can't separate it out like that in Option Omega, but depending on the underlying SPY, you definitely, selling it naked at the money has some interesting caveats that I wouldn't necessarily advise without a stop loss, but just to get the party started, let's do this. Let's do 50% profit target and 100% stop loss. Nope. Someone say something? Sorry. Let's up our money. Okay, so a 65-day Jade Lizard with a 50% profit target and 100% stop loss. Yep, maybe 50%. Let's try this just for the fun of it. This is the beauty of it, is you don't have to do it in real life. Let's take the stop loss off and the 50% profit target. And with this type of trade, yeah, that's not great either. Would this type of trade, in you guys' opinion, be something that we put on every day, or would we put on like once a week? There's set it and forget it ones, and then there's ones that are like, I don't want to lose a lot of money. Let's just do this once a week. Yeah, it depends on, for sure. It depends on the strategy, really, of like how much you believe in, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, based on that trade, maybe not the year of Jade Lizard. But these are the challenges. This is the fun of it to me, is like you get something like this, you're like, okay, well, let's see what we can do. So my initial thought with that would be, let's get out of Dodge real fast, like a 10%, and see. Okay, that's, sucks less. Here's my guess of when you would do this, and I don't know for sure, but I would try perhaps on a big gap down day. That would be my best guess. And I don't do that. Yeah. This would be my close to it. I don't think I'd still do this, but you have positive expectancy, and it actually does trade, you know, pretty well on that on a 1% down gap. Um, Again, this is where it's like, okay, well, let's do this. Like, let's go straight to madness and do COVID at that point. That's where I test when I'm testing. Like, do I like something a lot? Do I think it's really great? Take it to COVID. So, COVID did not help you a lot, but it has a pretty big win rate. So with that, that's interesting to me. This idea of a gap down day, a 1% gap down day, putting something bullish on. Is there anything else longer term that you guys could think of for trying? Yeah, I still have no stop loss. Um, that'd be fun. Let's just do, I don't know. What should the stop loss be? I'll let you guys decide. 50. Yeah. We'll do 50. 10% profit target, 50% stop loss. Yeah. Whew, that's a messy graph too. That's funny. You get a lot of winners, and then you get stuff that just absolutely wrecks you. So I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, 50% stop loss or 50% profit target. Let's do this. Actually, I just don't like it. I'm trying to think. Like, I just would never do it. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno indeed. Now, I'll tell you where I have done J lizards, and I do like them, is in equities that are cheap. Like, I like Jade lizards for that. Where I don't care to be assigned a stock, I could do Jade lizards. You're collecting some credit. If you think it's just kind of stuck in the mud for a little bit, put a Jade lizard on, and you're not too scared about it. But I don't do them a lot, to be honest. So, but just one more trade for the sake of it today. And just to be clear, I think we're actually going to try to start doing this. I'm going to probably start doing this as much as I can every day and just kind of build out some stuff and talk through it together. If you find it helpful, let me know. And if it sucks, let me know too, just because otherwise it's lunchtime. So, but I think it's fun to talk through these things together. So, with that being said, that idea of a gap down, is there any longer term trades that we could put on a day where there's a 1% gap down? Is there anything that you think you guys would like to try? Just from a probability standpoint, you have a 1% gap down. You're either going to get stopped out of whatever your long position is really soon afterwards, or you're probably going to have some sort of reversion a little bit. And that would be kind of the play. And a longer term play gives you a little bit more time to test that out. That would be my premise of it. But put spread and vols higher. Yep, that's a good idea. So let's do that. Let's for this use SPX just because that's the baby. 1% gap down day, and let's sell a put. What delta put? Should we try to do a higher probability, lower delta, or should we try to get some meat and get out quicker? That's always the rub of it. I'll let you guys decide. Juiciness or certainty? Juicy. Higher delta. Okay. So let's do a, you know what? Just Can't go juicier than 50. Well, you could, but and let's do 25, and let's do 45 days. And for the profit target, let's try this. Let's take 10% profit target, 50% stop loss. You haven't had many iterations of this, but that's not great straight away. Let's try. I'm interested now for the higher delta. Let's do 60 days. Nope. That stop loss is getting us, I think. Yep, you're getting stopped out quick. So let's try this. What I like to do is, when I'm doing these things, is just kind of go really big swaths with the stop loss just to see. Yeah, you just have that big one. So let's do this. Now, let's move that delta down to 25. It's actually worse. So how should we improve this? Lots of winners, one bad loser. Is there a way to improve it? Is this just a... Bill, that's a good one, but today we're trying to, just for the thought experiment, staying longer term, so over 40 days. Any other thoughts on that? I think maybe the only other thing we could try, let's try this. Let's just do the opposite of what we said. No juiciness, just, actually, yeah, keep the juiciness. Let's go wider on the wings. It's funny. That one loss is going to get you just where it moved against you every time. That one's interesting to me, June. Oh my goodness. Well, that'll partly, it would help if I, it would help if when we do this, I actually used option omega correctly. That would be the help of it. There we go. Here we go. We're back, baby. I'll have to double check, Ro. I can't remember exactly how Rusty did it. I think it's the gap is on open, and then I don't think it's at time of open. So if you say put a trade on at 9:45, yeah, and you do have to specify a time. So that actually works. You're 100% win rate on a 50 delta, 50 wide, 60 days. Take 10%, take the profit, and get out of town on days like that. Would you do it? Like we said before, that's not necessarily my cup of tea, but it's interesting to think about. Iron Butterfly Diver suggests testing further back. I do. Here's one of the fun things of this is I use year to date largely to test where we are in the market. So there's kind of two things going on with testing. The data has fundamentally changed since 2013. Just between, especially this year. This year is actually kind of, I'm not answering your question at all, and I'm sorry for that. But like last year, I would have said I definitely go back. Like last year when we were writing this, I would always start with 2018. I'd go 2018 to 2000, whenever, year to date. And I've started shifting it when coming up with ideas. partly because I'm an SPX trader, and SPX has just gone through a revolution in the sense of 5-day-a-week expirations just completely changes the game for the type of strategies you can do. And even longer term classical strategies, I think 2022 is going to be kind of like a catalyst that people look back at and be like, oh, that's when the data changed. Because yes, if you find like a put credit spread, or if you find a condor that works back to 2013, you definitely have more certainty, right? You definitely can feel better about it. But the thing that I'm interested in at this point is kind of what is the market doing right now? What are we, and along with some other tools and stuff like that, you can kind of get a sense through testing of like, okay, we are in a ripper right now, or we're in a down market, or we were in a down market, now we're in a ripper. If we go back to a down market this year, what would it look like? So there's just a million ways to play it. To answer your question, I do both. I think both are good. I think there's strategies that work throughout time. I think there's strategies that work really, really well for the moment. And I encourage everyone to try to find both of those things, because sometimes you just find some gold and some stuff that's newer, especially with 5-day-a-week expiration. But for instance, like I love Tammy Chambliss' stuff, and I love David Sun's stuff. And I think their data is going to be so much more fuller after this year, and the fact that you have a 5-day-a-week cycle now for 0-day expirations. So, sorry if that doesn't answer your question, but Ian, do you have a different portfolio based on your personal market expectations, trending up, choppy, trending down? I don't. I know people who do, and they are geniuses. I know some really smart people that use it to have that. My kind of what I like to do is I take kind of one day at a time, but I don't do 0-day, if that makes sense. So I have some general ideas of what I think I want to do based on where volatility's at, or where we're at in relation to FOMC and things like that. But I don't have strategies that trending up or trending down or choppy. If anything, I really just have strategies that are based on I have some stuff based on gaps, and I have some stuff based on where we're at in the market cycle. So I'm kind of old school in the sense of like FOMC days and expirations. I think there's money to be made. That's always my joke, is people who want to whitelist or blacklist FOMC days. Like some of my best trading days have come from FOMC. And so those are the ones like I want to whitelist just FOMC days. But yeah, thing. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm not going to go forever for you, but I know you're busy. I hope you guys are enjoying the product. Let me know. Reach out to Matt or Rusty or I, or if you have any questions. And again, I just straight up give credit to where credit's due. For those of you who aren't familiar with like Sweet Bobby, the Sweet Bobby trade, that guy's awesome, and he gets on freaking Zoom every day and just talks, and we like that. And so I think we're going to start doing it, recording it, and just putting it out there for people on our YouTube channel. So this is the first test run, and we'll go from there. Tomorrow we'll do the same thing, hopefully around 1 p.m. Might be give or take a couple minutes. And tomorrow I want to go a little bit closer in. So let's try to think not 0-day, not like under 5 days, but maybe that 5 to 40 range. So be thinking about that. And if you guys have any tests you want to look at, please send them to me, and we'll put them together, put them in a portfolio, and see what we can do. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a good day. See ya.